Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com, here with some thoughts on the WBO Asia Pacific Cruiserweight title fight taking place on June 11th between Alekseev and Damian Norris. Now, before I go further, just remember the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. You know, one of the things I like to do is to try to find underrated fighters, guys who, for whatever reason, got derailed in their careers because of bad luck, a bad opponent, a bad day, who are much more talented than the public's giving them credit for. And I believe I found one such fighter in Alekseev, who is 20-2. This guy was a decorated amateur. He was the 2005 Russian amateur champion. In fact, he was the Russian amateur champion, I believe, in 2002 and 2003. When he was an amateur, his chief nemesis was Adlinger Solis, who recently fought Vitaly Klitschko, blew out his knee. Alekseev is an excellent fighter. He's world class. He has big time boxing skills. He's a southpaw. He's 6'2". He has quick hands. I believe this guy's underrated. He got derailed, though, when he actually fought an elimination match for the right to fight cruiserweight champion Marco Huck. His opponent, who was also relatively lesser known, not unknown, but lesser known, was Denis Lebedev. And Denis Lebedev brutally knocked out Alekseev. And Lebedev, of course, went on to fight Marco Huck. It's a fight that I believe he won, but I might be biased because I picked Lebedev to win. The judges thought differently and gave the fight to Huck, the current champion. The fight was in Germany. Lebedev then went on to fight Roy Jones and knocked Roy Jones out cold. Lebedev is clearly a fighter on the rise with a pretty big punch. And I believe that the fact that he beat Alekseev should really be viewed as Alekseev running into one of the very best in the cruiserweight division and getting caught by a great puncher rather than as Alekseev lacking talent. I believe if Alekseev gets a chance at some of these other big names in the cruiserweight division, I believe Alekseev could do some damage. Now he's fighting a Cuban, Damian Norris. Alekseev is 20-2. Damian Norris is 16-6. Also, the title they're fighting for is a lesser title, right? It's the WBO Asia Pacific Cruiserweight title. And let's just say that Damian Norris is 6'5". He was KO'd by Chris Arreola in 2006. Even though he has a decent sounding 16-6 record, and even though he's fighting for this minor title, he has not fought a fighter with a winning record since 2008. This is a guy who, quite frankly, has a record that's overstated. Let me go further. If you look on his record and look down the line, and you can find these boxing records on boxrec.com, you'll see that Damian Norris further got KO'd last year by a guy who had a record of 3 wins, 22 losses, and 3 draws. Now, I have questions about Alekseev's chin. In his 2 losses, his first fight, he actually retired on his stool. In the second fight, the Lebedev loss, he got brutally knocked out. It is possible that he doesn't have a great chin, right? If you're going to bet on an Alekseev fight, you might want to have as part of a straddle his opponent by KO. But if this fight just goes the distance, right, or if Alekseev shows up and doesn't get hit with a haymaker, I think he wins this fight easily. Understand, Alekseev is blessed with heavy hands. He has a greater than 80% knockout ratio. I like Alekseev in this fight. I haven't seen the odds. If the odds are staggered to the point where it's not worthwhile betting, then I do hope if you're a hardcore boxing fan, you'll still pay attention to this fight because Alexander Alekseev deserves your attention. Quite frankly, this guy is world class. He just had a setback against an excellent rival in Denis Lebedev. I like Alexander Alekseev, very smooth boxer, very big puncher. Quite frankly, one of the more talented guys I've seen. Certainly one of the more talented contenders I've seen. I like him to win the WBO Asia Pacific Cruiserweight title. I'm sure we'll be talking about this title over Damian Norris. Let me know your thoughts. Leave your comments for me here on YouTube and visit us at gamblersadvisory.com. And if you take one thing away from this video, please make it that you watch Alexander Alekseev. I think this Russian is an up-and-comer. Thanks for watching.